Hello everybody, Rando Mando here with some IRL gameplay. I am playing Aayla Secure, which is a really powerful character, and Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is a really powerful character together. I am fighting Thing 2, my opponent for today. Uh, he is also playing, wait for it, Aayla Secure, Wild, I know, and Ezra Bridger with a plot, high stakes, which allows each player to start the game with an additional resource. So it is a high stakes game. We're going to be playing on Dayu City, which is a pretty interesting battlefield for an Aayla deck. Alright, he's going to start off with the Tuscan Camp, which is a very powerful 3-drop support. I'm going to go ahead and play a Force Affinity, which basically reads draw 2 cards, because I can spot a Jedi. It's super good. He's going to activate the Tuscan Camp and hit a shield, 1 range, 2 indirect. I will play an Armory. My opponent will activate Ezra and roll 1 melee, 2 melee. I'm contemplating what I'm going to do with Obi-Wan here because of his Guardian 2 and a lot of these weak sides showing on the board for my opponent. I go ahead and decide to take the Ezra dice because of Ezra's PA being very disruptful for my deck. I don't want any reroll sides really messing with my deck. So Obi-Wan rolls into 2 shields, which is a pretty, I like 2 shields. The money or the 2 discards are the sides I really want to see when I'm activating this Obi-Wan here. Alright, opponent will activate Aayla. Roll 2 melee and 2 melee. A very aggressive deck over here. But I'm just going to play it slow. Use my armory that I laid, deciding which upgrade to play. I'm going to go super defensive and play my Candymundia's lightsaber, discarding a blue milk to go ahead and give Aayla 2 shields. I discard the blue milk because I don't want to give my opponent more resources, and with the high stakes I'm pretty set, and since I had an armory I feel very confident with this starting hand. Alright, Aayla PAs into 2 ranged. A ton of damage showing now, 7 plus 2 indirect, but I'm just going to play my Jarkai and see if I can load up Aayla for a quick Jarkai round 1, huge damage or ramping into the next round. Plus I still have 2 shields on Obi-Wan, so starting out great. My opponent is going to go ahead and shoot 3 damage at, he's deciding which character to go for, and he's going to go for Aayla, which is fine by me. I've got the 2 shields on Obi-Wan and plenty of stuff to do. So I'll go ahead and give Aayla 2 shields. My opponent will smack for 4 damage against Aayla again. Aayla now with 11 health left, and Obi-Wan with 10. I'm contemplating what to do next. Very interesting decision here, and I'm going to go ahead and play Luke's offer to play a Westar for 1. So now I have my Jarkai online and my 2 weapons. So I go ahead and grab because I forgot to grab the die before. My opponent's going to go ahead and ditch to reroll and hit 1 shield and a blank. Fine by me. I'm going to go ahead and activate my Aayla with 4 dice now, 2 of which are Jarkai boosted. So I have 2 melee, a blank on Aayla, and 1 resource, essentially 2 on the Westar, and 1 melee, essentially 2 on Candymundia's lightsaber. So very good. I got ramp, I got damage. This is perfect. I'm going to go ahead and power action Aayla, hit 2 indirect, and be content with that. My opponent contemplating what they're going to do next. 2 cards in hand, but no money, and a blank die showing. Everything's exhausted, running out of options. That's usually some of the problems with these aggressive decks is they're very aggressive, but run out of options later into the round. Here I am collecting a die for someone off screen that you'll never find out. A good stop and pause to recap here. So Ezra's activated, used all of his dice. Aayla's activated, used all of his dice. Aayla has a shield, and the Tuscan Camp is activated with just a Tuscan Camp showing a blank. And the opponent still has a power action on the battlefield. But otherwise, they're pretty much out. I have Obi-Wan on 10 HP, and Aayla on 11 HP left with 2 weapons, Jarkai, and all her dice in the pool. And I still have money. Alright. Situation crisis has been averted off screen. I'm back into contemplating what I'm going to do with the 1 card I have left. And I'm going to just just start smacking for 2. Using Jarkai. Opponent's thinking. I'm thinking. Everybody thinks. We're doing some thinky thunks. I'm shooting Ezra. I decided to shoot Ezra here because the last time I played into this Aayla Ezra deck, I smacked Aayla a lot, and then he just played first aid and healed for 4. Very annoying. I didn't want that experience to happen again, but he's using the battlefield to blank my Aayla die, and he shows me Rebel Alliance, so I know he's going to heal those damage off Ezra. I go ahead and reroll everything. Keep in mind, I shouldn't have been able to reroll the Clone Trooper die here with Obi-Wan's power action, so I guess I'm just a blatant cheater. You can spam that in the comments, so that's cool. Anyway, we're just going to move on from that point, even though it is pretty big here because it is the one range I needed to hit for 4, so it might have shifted the game. But you'll never know. You'll have to watch to the end to see how big that impact might have been. Anyway, ignoring that, 6 damage on Ezra now. My opponent's going to pass. I will play that. So basically, I gain a resource, draw a card. I am no Jedi, a very powerful card. I am then going to go ahead and play a blaster and take your money. So this round 1 has been exceptional for me. My opponent's just going to pass up and ready up the round. So I've dealt more damage and I ramped more, and that's about it. I feel very confident in my position, especially with 4 resources going into the next round. My opponent is definitely going to have to pull something out of their hat here. Oh, I see I'm super good at the game and I forgot to remove my power action token. There it is. Alright, my opponent is going ahead and thinking about what they really want to do. With Ezra only at 4 HP and me with a technically fully Jarkite character here. The decision has to be clutch because I could roll out and present a lot of damage. Even though my Jarkite dice aren't very good. So taking a good long time to think through their action. And they're going to go ahead and play a Twi'lek Resistance Fighter, which is a very interesting include in this deck. I probably wouldn't include it in any Aayla Ezra deck that I would run, but okay. I'll play an Armory, because I'm going to keep loading up with weapons here. My opponent activates it and hits a 3 for 1. Kind of sucks, no money. I'm going to head and use the Armory to play my Security Baton, which is very good with Jarkai. Essentially, 3 damage, 3 damage, 4 damage, 2 damage, 2 damage. It's super good. Like, it's super good. Oh no, I don't have Karis Blaster. Ignore everything I just said. I do have that in the deck though, which would be really nice to get. Anyway, Tusken Camp comes out, hits 3 melee for 1, no money, but he does hit a money and a +1 money, so now he has money. If he comes around to resolving that before I murder all of his dudes. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and activate Aayla. So many dice, it's hard to roll them out. Alright, I'm gonna hit a 2 melee on a Jarkite boosted die, so 3. 2 ranged for 1 on a Jarkite boosted die, a money on a Jarkite boosted die, a money on Aayla, a blank on Aayla, and then a shield on a Jarkite boosted die. So a pretty solid rollout for what I have. I'm not quite presenting the lethal I wanted to present against Ezra right away, but otherwise I'm pretty happy with that rollout. Thinking of power actioning, either Aayla or Obi-Wan. Can't decide, because I'm indecisive like that. I'm going to go ahead and remove the shield and deal 3. Essentially putting Ezra on 1 HP, which I feel pretty nice about. But I know he has the Rebel Alliance in his hand, so it's not like I'll be able to get a jump on him. So, opponent feels confident in rolling out. But I'm like, hey, I have this 2 damage here. Opponent's like, oh, wait a minute. And it's probably going to lay that Rebel Alliance in their hand. Hopefully. That'd be quite a... Oh, that's a... I'm watching this live right now for the first time, so it would be quite interesting. I don't know why he exhausted Aayla. It is a fun experience together. Alright, yeah, he's just gonna power action, show his Rebel Alliance again. Alright, I will power action Obi-Wan, reroll all my lovely dice. bunch of blanks, because that's me still. Alright, so I got 4 blanks and 2 melee, which is still showing lethal, just not the value I wanted. Especially on a Jarkai boosted character with 4 guns. So, my opponent now in deep thought here. I'm talking with my opponent, being very insightful here. He's going to play his Rebel Alliance and heal 2 from Ezra. Back to me. I don't even know what I'm going to do. I still have Obi-Wan to activate. I'm just going to pitch to reroll. That seems like a pretty solid idea. 4 blanks is kind of trash. Alright, I hit a blink, 2 shields, 2 indirect, and 2 shields. Or, that's a 3 reroll. My opponent activates Ezra. Now that I can't show lethal, hits that nasty 2 reroll and 2 melee. So, he has money. And he has a lot of damage showing. So I'm going to go ahead and do some Guardian. I'm contemplating which one to Guardian here. But I'm just going to go ahead and Guardian with Heroic Protector and kill Ezra. Heroic Protector dealing damage equal to the value of a removed die. It's super good. Reason why I only Heroic Protected one of the 3s is because I wasn't sure quite on the wording if all the damage had to go to one character, which I thought it did, so I only removed the 3. Alright, activates Aayla into 2/2 melees, so still presenting a lot of damage. I'm going to go ahead and reroll everything but the 2 melee. And, well, I get a little bit better. 2 melee, 2 resources, 2 blanks, and 2 shields. Not bad. My opponent's going to start smacking Aayla for 4. Obi-Wan with 7 life left. Aayla with 9 life left, so still very healthy here. Alright, PA, and hit 2 indirect. So right now I'm showing 6 damage on an Aayla with 13 life, so starting to feel very confident. Even though I have a lot of damage on board, my board state is huge. My opponent getting greedy, rerolling the 1 into a 2. Always works if you're greedy. I'm going to go ahead and take 2 shields onto Aayla. The Obi-Wan value is insane. Guarding, shielding, just all around rerolling and giving shields. Huge value with Obi-Wan. Which is probably where my opponent made the mistake of trying to split with the Guardian and Aayla, but I mean, still doing a substantial amount of damage. Oh, blur cam. Just trying to focus in on my beautiful hands. My opponent is really running out of options here. Power action in the battlefield already. All everything's activated. I still have a lot of stuff to do, which is why Jarkai decks are so good. You just always have more stuff to do than the opponent. So now I'm showing 3, 4, 5 damage. Aayla with a ready. I'm going to be able to hit her down to 9 damage. So only 4 HP is going to be left on this Aayla by the end of round, maybe, hopefully. There's 2 more. Put her at 9. 9 out of 13. Very powerful. I'm even contemplating maybe re-rolling here if I had any cards to try and hit lethal on these 2 dice I have. Opponent really thinking. I'm just going to take some money though. Makes sense for me to take some money. And then of course my opponent will claim.